Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and the MFF 7-year anniversary is right around the corner, less than a month away. So I thought it would be fun to discuss the top 5 things that I know players would love to see come to the game for the anniversary. Because last year there was a ton of new things, new uniforms for really beloved characters, quality of life stuff, game mode stuff, rewards, all of that, compacted into one epic, gigantic event, and it was huge for the player base. So many people came back to the game. All the players were really excited, and hopefully this year they can capture the same kind of excitement as they did last year. So we will throw our darts into the arena. We're going to do 5, and let's see how many of them end up coming true. Comment down below with your top 5, and let's get into it. Coming in at number 5, we have Squad Battle, one of the most epic scenes in any game mode in Marvel Future Fight. You take on Surtur, right, one of the gods in the Norse mythology and in Asgard, and you basically battle him out. He's invincible, and you're just trying to score as many points on him as possible. There's time freezing mechanics, there's these orbs of light that you collect, there's these mobs that give you extra points so you kill them as well, and it was a really well thought out game mode that captivated us as players 2 years ago. Back in 2020, when this game was announced in, I don't know, March or February of 2020, it was ages ago. And since then, Squad Battle has undergone exactly one change. And yes, it was to the rewards, surprisingly enough, which is awesome, but we need more. So let me exit out of this here and talk about the rewards now, because they seriously need to be upgraded. Like I said, one reward change in 2 years is really not good enough. But what's worse, especially if you've taken a break from this game and then you've come back and you've climbed your way up, you've clawed your way up Squad Battle rankings from minor league to bronze all the way to vibranium, you're like, Alex, the required characters haven't changed. No, Billy, they haven't, and I don't know why the F not. So that's really one of the biggest criticisms of this game mode. It's super easy to change the required characters, right? You have these here, and you've made up these icons, and you've made up these things, right? These requirements. Just change them, shuffle them around a little bit. It's really not that big of a deal. You could make this one Blast male human. It doesn't have to be some crazy wacky change. It can just be small incremental changes. But if you do it on all of the leagues, it's so refreshing. And they don't even have to do it every week. They could do it once a month, once every 2 months. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as it does change, right? A little bit of change now and then goes a long way to keeping the bread from growing mold and becoming stale. On top of that, I think after 2 years, especially with the number of transcended characters being introduced to the game every update, it's a minimum of 2, sometimes it's 3, heck, we might even start to see 4 in an update. It's time that they updated the rewards. We have score rewards here for 100,000, 300,000, and 800,000. But as you can see, even if I autoplay, we're well into the millions, close to 10 million, if that. So it's really high time for them to increase the amount of rewards you get here. They can do it in basically 2 ways. They can add extra tiers for, round 4, round 5. I mean, not round, but like score based rewards for maybe, 1.2 million and then 1.5 million. Doesn't have to go crazy. Or they can just take these rewards and increase them. Give us more awakening crystals, give us more Mandalay gem fragments. But that's basically it. I need them to do something with Squad Battle. I'm literally dying here, and that is why it is number 5. This page right here for artifacts is probably not one you're very familiar with, and that's why it's our number 4. Although I've spent a lot of time beating this dead horse, I'm back again because the devs still haven't done enough, in my opinion, to make interacting with artifacts, hunting for artifacts, etc. a fun part of the game, or even just a neutral part of the game, because they've managed to fix almost every other aspect of gameplay farming. They fixed comic cards even, that we've been griping about for years, but man, they still haven't touched artifacts. And really, at best, interacting with artifacts on a daily basis is annoying. At the worst of it, it's like stepping on Legos all the time. And the absolute worst part about it is, even if you are a dedicated farmer, you're playing your Dimension Rifts, you're playing your Timeline Survival, you're really squeezing as much lemonade and lemon juice out of those frickin' lemons. You take your thousands upon thousands of hard-earned Celestial Essence, you come over here, you press this button, and you watch it get flushed down the toilet. This is really such a kick in the beans. Oh man, this is awful. This feels like trash. So whatever they have to do, get rid of 1-star artifacts, bump up the odds massively, put a pity timer in for this thing, allow us to craft artifacts with Celestial Essence. There's like 100 things they could do. They just need to pick one of them. We're begging you. Did someone say crafting? Similar to the artifact banter in number 4, our number 3 pick for top 5 things that I would love to see and the players would love to see for the anniversary is more things to craft. This was one of the best updates to the game, and I'm pretty sure they brought it around the anniversary, if not on the anniversary, so why not? 1 year later, on the anniversary of the thing you introduced during the anniversary, get it? You just add more to it, right? We have tier 2 materials, we have tier 3 materials. What about Titan records? How about being able to craft Titan records? How about being able to craft a premium card once a month or a random CTP once a month? You have those events already. Why not make them a staple that players can interact with even on a very limited schedule? It doesn't do anything to destroy the game on any level because it's super slow and you can turn it on and off whenever you want. But really, I would just love to see much more of this because there are still a lot of things in the game that are very difficult to farm. Titan records is one, and it really holds you back from character progress. Comic crafting cubes are another big one. You know, you play GBR, and then you're all GBR'd out. By the way, GBR is next up on a couple points next up on this list. But then you're done, and you only get 500, and 500 is not even enough for one reroll a day. That really should change, and if it doesn't change from GBR, it could change from here on the crafting menu. So I really love this aspect of the game, and this is really sort of playing into your strengths, right? Because Marvel Future Fight is a game where you're going to invest X amount of time, and you're going to get Y amount of resources in return. And unlike other games where there's a huge RNG aspect to what you're going to get, in this game, that's why we stick around, because we know, right? We're going to put in the hours, you're going to get the power, right? It's about drive, and it's about we stay hungry and that sort of thing. And so in that vein and sort of with that spirit in mind, it's a no-brainer for me, and it's a no-brainer for basically all other players that more items that we need for content should be here and should be craftable. Why can't we use CCF to craft Celestial Essence? There's another idea for you, or using CCF to craft Titan records, the books, right? There's tons of different things, and it's really high time, a year or more later, that they add to this. So who's with me? Our runner-up on this list of top 5 is something that is super small on this main screen, but gets super large and clumsy and cluttered as soon as you press it, and you interact with it all the time. It's the menu board. What can we say? What can anyone say about this? This was a really cool part of the UI upgrade, and I frankly love the UI upgrade in Marvel Future Fight otherwise. Like, I really love the floating text here. I really like this scroll thing here. Like, so much of the UI is very futuristic and very 2021 or 2022, but this is really where they fell short. They basically left their last brain cell into doing this. They spent the other 99% of the time perfecting everything else, and then we just sort of got the scraps, the leftovers, the hand-me-down third string sort of situation here that left us completely puzzled and completely confused. And the best part about it is there's actually a really easy fix that already exists in the game. This was brought to my attention by one of my awesome Discord mods. The content status board. This is another menu here where you can actually edit the menu and get rid of the game modes that you don't want to see because you don't play them on a regular basis. And that's great. You can tailor the experience to what you like and don't like. By that same token, why can't we edit this menu? I can tell you, and I can count on one hand the number of times that I've pressed the game guide button or the official forum button because I don't want to know what the freaks that spend all their day on the forums are talking about anyways. Because they're crazy and they're weird and they're teenagers. So yeah, no. But yeah, the Marvel Universe tab, I've probably clicked that 5 times. The library, probably 4 times or 3 times. So really, if I could get rid of some of those and maybe the other items, the other icons could take up that space, we wouldn't have this weird menu where most of the items are the same size, but then team is like, whoa, and challenges is like, whoa, and they're, getting their slang on. So yeah, it's a really important part of the game because it's how you navigate so many of the menus and how you bounce between different pieces of content. And it really shouldn't be this messy, or if it is this messy, we should have a bit more agency to navigate it and sort of tamper with it. I suspect as well that this one is going to be changed because I'm pretty sure they asked us about this in the most recent survey, but I just never put 2 and 2 together the way that my Discord mod did to integrate what we can already see and already use in the content status board, because nothing is easier to explain to devs than stuff that they've already done. And if they can just take this idea, take this spaghetti code, whatever it is, and just apply it here, that would be amazing, right? I would love that. Can I actually... Oh, that's the announcements. I thought that was to mute the game sounds. But anywho, I digress. And so we reach number 1. And if you've been paying close attention, you already knew what it was. GBR. It's been years. I don't even want to calculate how many years since GBR was first introduced. And you know what? A year after it was introduced, or a year and a half, we got Galactus. And that was amazing. And that was like 2.5 years ago, bro. So it's been like almost 4 years since this really cool idea for co-op multiplayer against a gigantic boss. It's literally called Gigantic Boss Raid since it was conceived. And just like all the other orphan game modes in Marvel Future Fight, it's been left out in the cold, man. And now this is what it is. 30 seconds of button mashing to get one-shotted. Master Mold deserves better than this, man. Master Mold's head melted in the sun with Wolverine sacrificing his life in House of X, man. That's what GBR should be. So really what we need, all ranting aside, is obviously increased rewards for GBR. There's no way that I just spent 200 boost points to get 150 card crafting cubes. And I know that that's a lot because some of you spend that many boost points and get even fewer. And it has to be infuriating when you're spending actual money or crystals to buy boost points, which is basically spending money, and you're getting such a paltry amount of cubes. And now you know, oh, I have to do another 5 or 6 runs just to tap out of this. And in the meantime, you're not getting anything else of value because you've already gotten the 10 premium card tokens. So do they need to increase the number of premium card tokens? Yeah, maybe. Make it maybe 15 a day or 20 a day. But they really need to increase not only the total amount that drops here, so out of 500 a day, it should be 1,000 a day, but they also need to increase the number that drop when you play. Sometimes you do a run and you get less than 25 of these cubes. That means you're getting less than 1 cube per energy. On average, that's calculating out to 750 energy, which is like a full day's worth of energy to get enough cubes for the equivalent of 1 premium card reroll on a crafted card. That's absolutely outrageous. There's just no way. Not to mention the fact that they set up this whole weekly system where the boss is going to rotate, and there's really one rotation. You know, Galactus shows up on Saturday, and then he's like, all right, see you next week. And then Master Mold just hogs the spotlight for 6 days in a row. And it's just mind-numbingly boring to kill Master Mold 5 times a day, 6 times a week. That's 30 Master Mold slaughters. It's really just gone too far. So we absolutely need a new GBR boss. We absolutely need better rewards and maybe a new mechanic or two. That would be crazy. Maybe the boss has to be attacked by member characters that have 3 different types. So you have to make sure that you either bring a combat blast and speed type yourself, or you coordinate with your friends because you can invite them to your lobby because this is a multiplayer cooperative game mode. And you make sure that you bring the combats, they bring the blasts, and your other friend brings the speeds or whatever. I don't know, man. Just something. Something. Please don't let this game mode languish and die like a lot of other game modes, like this game mode that literally exists right next to it. That's literally the little stepchild version of it. Make Giant Boss Raid great again. No, not world event. Make Giant Boss Raid great again, and make Giant Boss Raid ignore Pierce, because Pierce ruins the fun for Giant Boss Raid. And so we conclude the top 5 things that I would love to see for the 7-year anniversary. Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Thank you so much for watching. Smash the like button, and I will see you in the next one. Take care.